The King and Queen's visit to the U.S. is still on. It begins today. The royal couple arriving in Washington to begin a 4-day tour. With more on the visit, here's our royal expert, Patricia Treble, who joins us this morning here at the desk. Patricia, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And following everything that happened Saturday night, everybody was wondering whether or not this visit was going to continue, but it is on. Tell us, what can we expect from this state visit from the King and Queen?
Look, keep calm, carry on. That's kind of their motto. So they looked at all the security over again. It's an incredibly tight bubble in Washington, so I don't think there's going to be really any tweaks. It all starts off this afternoon. So King and Queen will arrive. They will go to the White House, tea, and then they will see the White House beehive, as one does. And then all the big action, though, is tomorrow. So we've talked about it's going to be a huge ceremonial opening. We're going to have King addressing Congress, and we're going to have the big state banquet.
We understand the King also reached out to President Trump after that shooting incident on Saturday.
They reached out privately and just kind of, said thanks to all the security, who were so quick in reacting and hoping that everyone was okay and not too upset. Because, I mean, this is the sort of thing that really does shake you. And the King has had attacks on his life before. The late Queen, of course, had several. So it's part of the job, unfortunately.
All right. We wanted to ask you about Prince Harry's surprise visit to Ukraine last week.
Yeah, so he's been back a few times. This was for the huge Kyiv Security Summit. And he made news both for family and for politics. So first of all, he said he's very much a member of the royal family, and that doing what he does is what he was born to do, which will come as a bit of a shock, I think, to a lot of people because, of course, he's, left the royal life, kind of bashed the royals, talked about how toxic it was and stuff like that. But he clearly, after Australia, wants to do kind of a quasi-royal role, but on his own terms. But the second time was when he very soundly criticized the Trump administration for basically abandoning Ukraine. And the one thing, of course, if you want to be a royal, you cannot be involved in politics. That is absolutely verboten. He was asked about that. He said, is it going to affect your father's visit? And he kind of looked a bit startled, as though he hadn't really thought about it too much. And he said, no. Now, President Trump was asked about it, did not take the bait. Just wished Harry well, wished Meghan well, that was it. But can't get involved in politics if you want to be a working royal.
All right, so Harry making some headlines on a couple of fronts from this trip. Meanwhile, Meghan getting personal by resharing an Instagram post over the weekend about having the hardest 7 years. Tell us a bit more about this.
Okay, I had to do a deep dive into astrology, not my forte, let me admit. So this was a post, and it was talking about how if you're born under 4 specific signs, including Leo, she is a Leo, then this is the end. You've had 7 bad years, and this is you're wiping the slate clean. And she sounded very relieved. And I'm going to say she has talked about being, very bullied. She's had a really difficult time. So maybe she's just looking forward to what's coming next. What I don't know is does that mean that everything else from now on is smooth sailing? I'm hoping so.
Okay, well, we shall see. Patricia, thank you.
You're welcome.